Hello and welcome back to Newsroom Nigeria. This is where we give you hot, fresh and sizzling news all day long. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, like this video, also leave your opinions in the comment section below. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, and former Minister of Education, Dr. Obiageli Ezekwesili, were locked in war of words yesterday at the ongoing conference of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, in Enugu over state of the nation affairs in the country. This is even as protesters stormed the Confab venue over alleged political imprisonment of a member of Enugu House of Assembly. While the minister contended that what Nigeria needed to do to prosper was engage in research and pay much attention to production rather than consumption, Oby Ezekweseli said the federal government plunged Nigerians into abject poverty by virtue of its subsidy removal policy, which she described as good reform policy done in wrong direction. China spends so much on research and development, whereas Nigeria spends so much on the provision of infrastructure. Until this is done, economic growth and prosperity would continue to elude the country, Tunji-Ojo said. But reacting, Ezekwesili insisted that policies such as the removal of oil subsidy was well-intentioned but wrongly imprisoned. Hence, the spiral inflation that followed such move. It is a tough job to have to defend the APC government. You can do the right policies, but if you do it the wrong way, there will be a problem, she said. Taking the price of petroleum, for instance, she lamented that the reform was ill-prepared and ill-conceived. She added that it is not how to do reforms. The reform was not prepared for. It was a good reform done the wrong way. It is bad because inflation is punishing the populace. You really have to prepare for reform. She criticized Bola Ahmed Tinubu's announcement of subsidy is gone moment after his inauguration, saying the declaration plunged many Nigerians into penury. Inflation hits the poor so hard and they have nowhere to run to. It was a good reform done wrongly, she maintained. Addressing the lawyers, Ezekwesili urged them not to reward prebendalism or pander to the wish of political class that cared less about the poor masses. 133 million Nigerians are in the state of poverty. The lawyers are determining the rule of law in Nigeria. There should be evaluation of a political class. This country lies prostrate for the poor. I am praying for the legal profession. Any profession that is rewarding prebendalism is not a profession, she lamented. She urged lawyers not to allow their profession suffer corrosion by politicians and cautioned them to stop trading with your profession. Another panelist, Judge Etomi, lamented that the judiciary was at crossroads in the civilian era, pointing out that the judiciary did better during military interregnum. Our judiciary was more independent under the military. I don't know what the new law is. They are abusing democracy today. We must protect the judiciary, he posited. Etomi pointed out that instead of concentrating on governance, governments of the day are dissipating energy on the forthcoming 2027 general elections. Protest rocks NBA conference over alleged political imprisonment of Enugu lawmaker. Meanwhile, protests rocked the conference yesterday with a large number of protesters pleading the release of an imprisoned NBA member and lawmaker in the Enugu State House of Assembly, Bright Igene. Igene of the Labour Party, who represents Enugu South Urban State constituency, was sentenced to 7 years in prison by an Enugu magistrate over a resurrected community matter, which many believed was politically motivated. This is the same Labour Party candidate who won the last by-election. He won in the last by-election and he's been in prison before the election and is still in prison, and he won an election legit in Nigeria. Moving on, the protesters who were mainly his constituents said every attempt to appeal the magistrate court's decision in the state high court had met a brick wall, with no less than 2 judges recusing themselves from the matter. The protesters carried placards with such inscriptions as "Release Bar," "Bright Again and Now," "A Political Prisoner of Conscience," "Say No to Miscarriage of Justice," "NBA is the voice of a voiceless, speak now," and "NBA, please help Bright Again to represent his constituency," among others. One of the leaders of the protest, Mr. Benedict Kachuku, told newsmen, he said, and I quote, "We are here to register our peaceful protest to tell the world what has been happening in Enugu State for the past 1 year. Since July 28, 2024, Bright Emeka, that won the House of Assembly seat in Enugu South Urban, has been unjustly incarcerated. Charges that were put on him were baseless. The judiciary process was not followed, and in less than 2 weeks, judgment was dispensed, and the man has been in detention since then. Effort to take the matter to the High Court have proved abortive because judges are now recusing themselves from the case. The Chief Judge has refused to assign the case to a new judge, so ever since then, this man, Bright Egene, has been in detention for no just cause, all because he won an election. Somehow, he has reaffirmed the decision of a mandate of the people on August 16, 2025, where he won overwhelmingly again, even from detention. So we are here to plead with the Nigerian Bar Association to look into this matter so that the judicial process will be followed. Let me make it clear that we are not afraid of going through the judicial process. We have consistently asked them to assign the case. No matter the judgment that comes, we will take it in good faith. But up till now, we have not seen, we have not heard, and the case has been in comatose state at the State High Court. The protesters were prevented from gaining access into the main hall of the International Conference Center, where the NBA conference is taking place, but they made a peaceful demonstration around the arena and left. Let's have your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section below. Before we go, guys, let's take a look at some of the reactions we got online. Agatsu says, the legal profession in Nigeria really needs to deliver herself from this mess. How can a lawyer and a lawmaker in Enugu State be denied justice? How on earth can a lawyer not have his case assigned to a judge? Ayamu Chao says, Nigeria judiciary has been compromised by APC government. The voice of voiceless, which is justice, has been put in dust. APC government has destroyed democracy in Nigeria because of brown envelopes. The judges has turned white into black. Isaac says, it is not enough to hold NBA conference every year. What exactly are lawyers benefiting from the NBA as members, even with the annual dues payment? A case in point is the death and retention of a corpse of an NBA member at Lutz for over 2 years on a medical bill of 10 million naira. I'm talking about Isaac Adiatu of blessed memory. His corpse was only released for burial after over 2 years at the Lutz mortuary, and it took the concerted effort of well-meaning individuals and family members to come up with a 10 million naira demanded by Lutz. If that can happen to a colleague who is dead, how much more those alive? Come to think of it, an attendee to such conference need at least 1 million naira to be able to attend, taking into consideration flight tickets, accommodation, feeding, preparations, and other sundries. For a lawyer who does not know where his family next meal will come from or school fees for his words, especially September resumption date, is just few weeks away. In addition, the NBA has rendered its fora to disgruntled and biased politicians to use in castigating political opponents in a way that seemed to show that the NBA is part of a political setup. Criticism is okay, but such speakers at the NBA should be asked and made to offer solutions to government policies they are up against. Perhaps the NBA should vet what the speakers are going to talk about so that we are not used. Wow. Wahab Kayode says, Madam, tell us when and how to implement reform so it will not be in the wrong way. Is it every time when people are not hungry or in poverty in this country? Depending on how you see it. Let's take one last comment, guys. It says, big shame to Enugu State Chief Judge and the state judges. But did the law say the appeal must be in the state high court, not federal high court? As an infant, I heard that justice delayed is justice denied. Under the Yorubanized judiciary of APC of Tinubu government across all levels of the judiciary in Nigeria, cases are unjustly delayed, unassigned, and unmentioned. The new trend is obvious. Led by the Supreme Court, illegal removal of a governor for 6 months has not been heard. 5 months after a case is filed before a fully 21 constituted Supreme Court, where then is justice? You all, let's have your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section. Thank you very much for listening and watching. I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.